The DC All-In Plan, initiative, event, whatever you want to call it, is something that has them literally all in. They're pushing all their chips on the table, which they don't have a lot left. I mean, they're really pretty much recycling the exact same things that they've always done by rebooting things, starting side universes, doing Elseworlds, whatever it is, to try to get people on board. They've basically shuffled the same amounts of creators to different titles. Nobody really different and new is coming in for this initiative that I've seen so far. They're trying to herald the return of Scott Snyder to Batman as something, even though it's a Elseworlds Batman that doesn't look right. And they're panicking. Sales are not where they are supposed to be, according to insiders. I've talked about this, and we'll do it again. And you could see just like by the amount of pure boom, 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 like try to promotional post that's going on out here, that things aren't looking good. This is a sign of things aren't selling as well as they hope, not a sign of confidence and, hey, this is crushing it, because they act a little different in the industry when you get that. I'll show you the industry inside stuff and what this looks like in just a moment. My name's John Delarose, everybody, the most trusted name in comics news. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and of course, join us here. And I've got a great comic that is going to be up for 5 more days, The Hidden Emperor. We're about to hit $40,000 on this. We are winning here. We are selling way better than ever before. This is our best-selling comic book by leaps and bounds, and I would love for you to get in on this. It's wonderful science fiction, action, and adventure. The characters are people to relate to. The world's amazing, and we're just building this into something fantastic. A full universe is going to be spreading out of this because of the support of people like you. So grab this in the description below. Get the complete Ayla Rin stories, adventures to start your journey with us today. Really appreciate you being there. And appreciate all the backers, especially the readers. You guys are what makes us go here. Thank you again. Okay, so Scott Snyder is posting pretty relentlessly about, like, pre-order, guys. Make sure to pre-order. And advanced copies, he says, are finally going out. Nick and I are thrilled by how great the reception's been. Take the opportunity to join the fun by pre-ordering the first issue or subscribing to the series at your local store. And here it is. Final order cutoff is Monday, so act now. In attempt to get people to buy this last minute. Now, I have already pre-ordered this. I'm going to, of course, cover it as it comes out. If it's good, I'll report on it. If it's not, I'll report on it. I'm the fairest name in comics here, as of course. That's why I'm the most trusted name in comics news. Did not get an advance copy from Scott. He knows, of course, that if I get any access or whatnot, the Whisper Network is going to come at him hard, and they've been trying to cancel him for a long, long time as well. It's sad, but at some point, these people are going to realize that channels like this are more likely to sell books than, a Screen Rant like review or things like that, because this is where the real comic book readers are at. The Whisper Network doesn't matter so much. I always urge these people, don't be afraid. We're nice over here. We love comic books. We're the real comic book readers. If you're not pushing the weird DEI crap into your books, you're pretty much welcome here. And that's about it. But Absolute Batman has been out and is getting some attention. I believe Comics by Perch actually did get a review copy. He's a little more shilly than I am for the mainstream as usual, and that's probably why he's there. Unblock me from your channel. That's pretty lame to not allow comments from a smaller comic YouTuber. We'll be bigger than you soon, Perch. We'll be bigger than you soon. But he said, it was all right, basically. He gave a political review of it. It was a non-review. He didn't talk about specifics to it, but basically said it was fine. Now, I don't think fine's enough right here. DC needs something bigger than fine to revitalize its base to get people buying again. There's been some fine titles with the current Dawn of DC that look okay. There's been some ones like the Batman and Robin by Joshua Williamson's been okay. But they're not been something that where you're like excited to get in on this. And from what I've seen of the All-In and of this Absolute line, it's not that exciting. I think especially when you get into Superman and Wonder Woman, those are duds right away. They look terrible. This one does too, kind of, though. The designs have me very, very concerned that this is not the Batman you're looking for. Now, they're, of course, billing it. They're not putting Elseworlds on the title, but they're billing it as that, really. This is all this is an Elseworlds, and that's all Ultimate Comics from Jonathan Hickman really is at this point. It's not really, these are not designed as absolute or ultimate editions of the characters where you're supposed to be like, this is like the new incarnation that, really deals with all the iconic things. If you look at the way that the Ultimates was launched back in the day, it was a little darker and edgier, but more iconic, and it's actually was what the movies were kind of based upon more than anything. And it worked, and that's why it worked. They tried to do this back in the day, DC, with All-Star Batman, All-Star Superman. Of course, All-Star Superman is one of the more iconic runs out there. But they didn't really launch a universe that had staying power or was meant to stay. DC always does this. They make these initiatives every couple of years. They drop them after a couple of years. I remember all the books that were coming out of Dark Knight's Metal, Scott Snyder's event. They were going to have new superheroes that were going to change the DC universe forever, canceled after 12 issues, right? And that's just kind of what they do. That's why nobody has faith in DC, really. It's not that they need a new launching point or jumping on point. They really need faith that DC is going to follow through with something for the long term and actually go with something. That's been their main struggle over the last few years. It just seems like no story is important, no story matters at all anymore, and that's similar here. I've seen Scott Snyder posting saying, "Hey, if we have jobs, this is going to go for at least 2 years." That's not really a way to sell a book. That doesn't sound like there's a lot of confidence in this lasting that long. Now, like I said, pre-orders before from my inside source at DC Comics are supposedly at about 50% of what that they were projecting originally with this launch. The retailers are not in on this. The retailers have seen these gimmicks one too many times, and they're just not excited about it. And when DC Comics or other comic companies have major successes, they act like it by really posting sales numbers saying, "Oh, we're already out of our print run. Wow, this is our best-selling book since, 5 years ago." You see with the TMNT relaunch where it sold 300,000 copies, they post that they sold 300,000 copies. That means that this Batman is not selling anywhere near the level that they would be bragging about those sorts of things. And that's why DC's in an abject panic right now. Now, there are some preview images that are actually showing interiors of what's going on with the Batman thing. And this actually gives me more concern than anything else. We've seen the covers where Batman's this, roided up Rob Liefeld version of Batman. I don't see any feet here, for example. He's got all the pouches. He's got the muscles on muscles. All right, cool. So this is Image Comics 90s Batman. Great. At least Scott Snyder's writing it, so it's going to be competent on that level to some degree. But you can see the main thing that people have been criticizing this entire time has been the lack of the Bat logo on his chest. That's kind of the iconic look of Batman. So when you're doing something and you want it to be, quote, absolute, you probably should add some iconic. I think if it just had a regular Bat logo, it probably wouldn't be as bothersome to many readers. And I talked about how this might actually just be a ploy by DC Comics, too, to make it look like, to start some controversy talk about the Bat logo right on it, right? But you see him immediately, he rips the logo off his chest, and he's got it it looks like a picket sign, but I guess he's going to use it as an axe or a mallet or something like that. Is he going to whap him in the face like it's a bat? I don't understand. It doesn't look like a very smart or good weapon. I mean, that's one thing for sure. And why wouldn't he just use a real club or a gun or something that actually works a little better, or some knives? I mean, this just seems silly. If he's going to stab people with those little spikes, why not go all out? I mean, use something that's a little less ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. And if you're Bruce Wayne, who's this martial arts master and things like that, I mean, wouldn't you? Have better options? I don't know. It's insane. This image does not instill me with quality whatsoever. It just seems like a stupid gimmick, and it, seems even stupider now that I'm seeing it in action. Now, I've some people posted about the story point about it getting weirder here, says a fan on Twitter. It gets weirder. They describe this version of Batman as chaos and anarchy. But hey, Richard C. Meyer says, shut up and accept it. That's funny. This is a big story point. This Batman comes up in Crime Alley. He knows the villains in a different way. And instead of being system and order the way Batman is in the main universe, this Batman is chaos and anarchy. So he's not Batman. I mean, the whole point is that he's the greatest detective ever, that he is about preparing for fights ahead of time, about doing it smarter and better, not about just being blunt brute force, just going through and rampaging like the Hulk. We already have the Hulk for that. It already exists. So to me, this is something that I get they're trying to do a yin and yang DC universe with Darkseid and whatever. And this is some sort of Elseworlds things that's playing into some event again. But, this was supposed to be a universe to stand on its own. You're supposed to be all in. If you want to do something like that, gosh, this is only going to last 12, 20 issues before they drop it. 100%. You're telling us right here that this is not going to stick. And I think that's going to be a big, painful thing for DC Comics fans. Very sad again. All right, this is the craziness to me. What a stupid design. My gosh. What do you think about this? Are you going to be picking up Batman, Absolute Batman #1? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to pick up the Hidden Emperor while you can. 5 days to go. That's in the description below. Thanks for supporting Indie Comics. We'll be back soon.